What up, though? Let me wind that, do that again. I keep doing the beat like it's a scratch. The scratch. That's the scratch. But y'all don't know about beatboxing. If you ain't come from that era, you don't know what I'm talking about. Y'all kids, y'all don't know nothing about beatboxing. If you went in school, if you ain't hit the corner, so you can get that little extra echo when you beatbox. I mean, anyway, you get that extra echo when you hear the corner, you be in school. Oh man, it wasn't nothing like it. I know I took y'all back and telling my age. Just want to talk a little bit of music in this one though. First off though, let me just get this out the way off top. If you're new to the channel, go on to subscribe. We got spoken word, motivation talk, poetry, commentary in there, and things like, especially in this video, we're gonna talk a little bit of music. I actually just want to have a little bit of fun because I was just driving today and I was thinking to myself about music. That's why I actually titled this video, Once I Listen to Your Music, I Already Heard It. Or once I hear your music, I'm gonna go with that one. Once I listen to your music, I already heard it. So we're gonna run with the title with that one for this video. And the whole message today is just talking about, as far as how, it just was on my mind. I was just thinking like, it's so much music that come out. There's so much music we have the choice to consume. So it's like, how much time do we spend on it? It's like, do we really appreciate it and appreciate the value of music how we used to? Like, do it make sense? And just the whole ordeal of just how music just don't stick to you no more. I don't know about y'all, but it's like, okay, say for instance nowadays how music or an album will come out on that Friday, New Music Friday. You had the albums come out, and then it might be a little hoopla going on about it. That's even if it come across your radar. And that's most of the time why a lot of artists be trying to connect. Unfortunately, some type of drama, some type of news, some type of headline, or something before the album come out that Friday. You ever noticed that? Just pay attention to it, especially if it's an established artist, like somebody with a name that already been out for a little bit of time. They got a project coming. If you notice, I'd say at least about two to 3 weeks before the album drop, they'll pull some type of stunt or something to happen, or they'll say something real outlandish, or something just to get the eyeballs on them. But knowing that they got an album coming, even though they might be doing a couple interviews, they might have a rollout, as they say, like a press release going on where they're making their runs to certain shows and doing their interviews to let them know the album coming. But in some cases, in most cases, they always find a way to get the eyeballs on them. But let's go past that. So it's like when an album come out, once it release on that Friday, you got the weekend dissected, even though you're gonna be busy and doing whatever. But if it do come across your radar and you just happen to think about like, okay, damn, such and such album came out, let me check it out, let me listen to it. So you got that weekend. You might take it to the head as you move and traveling, doing your daily do. Not to mention the competition of how many albums gonna come out that weekend. And if you get that front page on certain platforms, well, that's extra. That's extra. That we need to talk about that. But dig, the whole conversation is, once you listen to it, what makes you go back to listen to it again? Like, how often do we do that now? I mean, just think about that for a minute. Take you a second. I'll take me a dosage. How often do you listen to the albums? I mean, I could think of so many albums that came out that I listened to maybe a week or maybe 2 weeks. And I think to myself like, damn, I forgot that album came out. How often do you listen to it? I mean, why is it that the music don't stick like it used to? I mean, don't get me wrong, I know it's coming fast and I know it's so many dropping, there's so many artists. It's a million albums to drop, it's a million to choose from. Everybody's pulling for your attention, everybody's pulling for my attention. And as a consumer, it's just so much to dissect. And you got all these different platforms at the press of a button. I think they got something to do with it too, actually. Now that I'm actually talking about it. The value of the music. It's like, cause it's right at our fingertips through a phone. You know what I'm saying? You can pick up a phone and just go to any album or any song or any artist at any time. If it's on your mind, you can press the button, cause they're on the platforms to be heard. So that plays a part into it. Cause the moments ago, it was a time, of course, we digging back, when it was a whole journey to get somebody's album. I mean, it was a real decision. It was a real conscious decision when you bought that Ice Cube album or that Too Short or whoever, that Public Enemy tape, that CD, whatever. When you walked in a record store, it was a journey. I mean, it was a straight up conscious decision when you hustled up on that $15 or $10 or whatever for the tape or the CD. You knew like, okay, I got this hot 15 in my pocket. I need some new music. I want some new music. I want somebody's album. I'm about to go to the record store and pick somebody's album. Half the time you might go in there with a decision to buy one person's album or CD or tape or however have you, and you will go in there and you would just see somebody else's album that you didn't even know was out or something you forgot about. I mean, it was just it's like an adventure. I mean, it was just it's just a beautiful thing. I don't want to hold on to the days old, but I think consciously just having so much music at our dispense, it's not valued the same. I mean, it's like we'll listen at one time with them couple of times, and then once you hear it, you done heard it. It's like, okay, I heard it. Okay, I'm in the know. Like if somebody asks me about it or bring it up in conversation, I can say I heard it if it's worth talking about. And for that weekend, we all gonna be on something else by next week when somebody else shit drop. So at that very moment, okay, I've heard it. Okay, it's all right. But you're not gonna even, I mean, I don't know about y'all, but it's like we don't even know the words to songs no more. I mean, do we still do that? I mean, y'all can tell me in the comments if we do. I mean, like if it's a certain simple song and but I'm talking about as like far as a hip hop album or a rap songs and feeling songs, not even just the radio songs. I'm talking about songs like when you just, like remember how you used to just know the lyrics of a song and you can rap along with it because you like, I listened to it that much and I heard it that much that I can rap it and I memorized the lyrics because I listened to it that much. It's like now, I mean, I don't know if it's different for me because I'm an artist myself, but I definitely don't take that time just to listen to artists' music that much to where it's like, okay, I want to know these words, But I will say, I will admit that Kendrick album, it's some songs on that album, that latest one he just dropped, that Mr. Morale. I can say it's some songs on there that I like know the lyrics because I really play that album a lot. I play that album a lot. That album it's up here for me. Now, that's just me. But I'm talking about just the average, like how is so much music to where you play it that much to where you know the lyrics, and you jog and you working out or whatever, and you know the lyrics of the song, or you driving in your car. I mean, I can understand if it's a singing song, like we're singing, because there don't be that many lyrics on a singing song. But I'm talking about a straight up just hip hop song, like how we know all the words to Juicy, or certain songs, or I Get Around, or Keep Your Head Up, like we know every word. I mean, like, which artist is bringing that to where you play a song? It's like now we just hear the beat and we just vibing off the hook, of course, and we have a little fun with it. Then we go on to the next. That's why I just titled this whole video. It's like, once I hear your music, I heard it. Once I listen to it, I heard it. It's like nothing special. It's like, okay, I mean, can we get the music just to stick again? Can we get the music just to, I want to rewind it. I want to play that again. I want to play that over and over. Like, I want to associate that album with the times. I mean, or is it that I'm moving too much? Or is it that I'm doing too much? I mean, tell me if I'm wrong. I mean, I know everybody in life got their day-to-day, and it's a lot going on. And we can pass up things. And what's important is what's important. I understand that. But, I mean, what is it? I mean, I'm trying to just grasp and touch it. But it's a lot of different things I can just associate it with. Because don't get me wrong, it is some music that, even, let's just say this, even the good music that do come out, people still just don't stay on it, and I don't think they stay on it like how it should be. Maybe, I know accolades don't mean as much like it used to, because we the ones that can play the music at will. We really don't have to blame it on radio like we used to, even though they still try to force a lot of it on us. But we got so much, like I say, at our dispense with our hands, just, you know, having the power in our cell phone just to change and listen to whatever we want to listen to at our times. And it's so much music to choose from. But the initial of just having the albums that do stick out, that be heard more than others, to the point to where we have to acknowledge this album, and it like go with the times. I mean, like, with a classic album, I mean, okay, let's just say that right now. When the last time you heard somebody say somebody's album is a classic and really meant it? I mean, within the last 5 years, you don't even hear people use that word classic as much as you used to. I mean, if you really, really think about it, you don't hear this. Now there's been some good albums that came through the creek, don't get me wrong, but you don't get that it's a classic. It's that one that matched the time, that matched what's going on right now, that matched the moment, that album that just synced through and just was like groundbreaking. I mean, do we get that? Or am I just missing out and off the loop? Because I could just be in my own bubble, so much of my own shit, being an artist myself, but I still try to keep an open ear to a certain extent. Don't get me wrong, I ain't up on every new artist that come out, so I'm not gonna try to sit up here and act like I'm up on everybody that drop, because I'm not even competing with that shit no more. I'm not even fascinated with even trying to just be in tune and say that I know every artist, because it's too many. And some of them is just not my speed and not my energies. But y'all tell me though, I don't know if I'm knocking on the door or something or not. But in my mind, I mean, there's so many ways I can go with this, and I'm trying. I mean, I'm touching some points and I'm walking in some rooms, but it's like, with the knowledge that you got and the different choices that you got, I mean, what's making the album stick? What's making you play certain songs and certain albums over again? Now, we do have the moments when we driving, because a lot of us move. the world is moving fast. The world is at a motion. So the songs can start to speed up. And most of the time, you in your car when you listening, I mean, we don't have the time to have them sit down moments unless you can somehow equate it like with your job or something like that. If you got some downtime and you really just a student of just music, and you just sit in them moments, you know, them study moments when, I mean, I was one of those. I was one of those kids or one of those students of music to where I just shut down and have albums or CDs or listen to albums. I still try to do it sometimes to just get back to that and just really just headphone and just take one to the zone, take an album to the zone and be like, okay, let me just really just listen. And when you do that, it do slow down the world if you one of them type of people. And if you got the patience to do it. And that's on you. It's a hard thing to do, but you can dissect music differently when you just shut down the world and just really zone in and take yourself into the mind of that artist that you're listening to when they created it. Because you will see different things. I mean, that's something I go through. It's a study. That's why I said, like, you that type of person, if you really love music, you can comprehend and parallel with what I'm saying. But if you just dissect anything that should come to your ears and just about any rhythm can catch you, and you go out a lot, you hang at parties a lot, to where you mixing songs up a lot, and it's only 10 seconds here, 20 seconds here, and 30 seconds here of songs, and you associating yourself in those different environments to where you just overcrowded with those so many different frequencies, you're probably not gonna be a heavy student, you know what I'm saying, of music like that. Now you can be, that's more like an easy influence. And I'm not trying to downgrade nobody's ears or say like you on a different level to where, no, I am. I'm not gonna even backtrack it, I am. You're an easy listener, you're an easy target. You easily influence, it's easy for you to dance to the beat and not hear the lyrics. That's you. That's some people because they be in them environments to where the frequencies move fast and like that. You know, you don't understand the lights and all that play on, and watching other people react to certain songs can influence you of how you would like a song. You're not even knowing that you really don't even like it or you don't even care about it that much. But seeing other people react to it a certain way because they, you know, alleviated or whatever and own whatever they own, but you seeing them enjoying it, it's making you want to enjoy it because you in the environment. But again, like I say, when you really just sit and shut down and absorb music and sounds, it'll touch you different. But we'll get to it though. One way or another, just put it down in the comments. Tell me how you feel about what I just wrote down and just said. Because once I hear your music, I done heard it. I mean, it's a couple albums that's sticking a little bit. Like I said, that Kendrick definitely sticking to me. That movie, I mean, I said it by mistake, but it's real. That movie, that album, it's like a straight up just therapy session. Just listen to it. That's one album to stick to me. And I remember too also around this time, because this is December, this when all the heavy hitters used to come out. If you a real music head, you already know what I'm talking about. This when all the albums used to just come out like they should still call this the fourth quarter. I mean, musically in the industry, they call it the fourth quarter. Like around Christmas time, if you remember, that's when all the big wigs would come out, as they say. You know, you had the Jay-Z's, anybody who had a name, they gonna drop. Because what it was, everybody used to load up after each other album. And you know, the attention was on you, the spotlight was on you if you were a big artist. And plus, you know, as a gift, you know, Christmas time, people would buy the CDs just as a gift. So the sales would be through the roof, you know what I'm saying, this time of year. So that was also a big selling point for the music industry to drop albums. Between that whole little, after October, say riding into the end of the year, we call that the fourth quarter. And that's when all the big albums to come out of all the popular artists that they've been holding on. So, I mean, we'll see how we get down. We'll see how they get down. Or maybe somebody will bless us with some before the year out. I mean, you heard it here. I'm talking about it. Maybe somebody will bless us with just a cold album that just stick and just make people think like, okay, well, this song, like, we need to be on that. I mean, that's that influence. And like I said, in the midst of all this and me talking about music, I'm not saying that it's not good music out there. It's definitely good music out there. It's so much of it. But it's kind of like, it's kind of crazy too. It's like we complain about, like say how we don't have radio, we don't have the shows to do this, or sometimes they have the same people. It's crazy how we complain about that. But at the same time, during this conversation, I'm thinking about how we need some type of respectable source that's not underground to show appreciation for albums and artists, to whereas it's respected, and at the same time it's like not too commercial to where it's like it's payola or it's paid for. I mean, if I'm making any sense with where I'm headed to. I'm just saying we need some type of platform that's respected enough for the culture within itself. That's hands free off of just payola and money being thrown at it, to where it's just I don't want to say the mainstream, because you got to be good enough to be heard, you know. I mean, if it's that good, sooner or later, more people is going to hear about it. So that's one thing that do work, especially on the playing field that we on, because it's like we all on the same playing field, because we all got the same resources. I mean, an independent artist, if he's good enough, he can be heard just as much as a big artist. I mean, if it's really that good and the word of mouth really is pushing it out there like that, don't get me wrong, he's going to need, who he or she is going to need some type of promotion and money. Some type of monies do have to be thrown at it to get it out there, because that's how we hear about stuff. Because there's a lot of good art that just suffocate because they don't have the resources or the machine or money behind it. But somewhere in the mix of all this, I think we still need some type of entity that's still just hip hop based, that really care about the culture and that'll push the line, but it still let it be known that we the voice of the streets, but we still gonna let it be known that y'all need to know about these artists over here. But anyway, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Be sure to comment down there. Matter of fact, you can put some albums down there you like that you heard this year, or who you think should drop an album, or who you expecting the album to come from soon, or who you just looking forward to. I appreciate y'all, man. Rap talk. I told y'all this rap talk that it got two meanings. Of course, it's still the poetry, which is rap talk. But I just love talking about music. That's the way it originates from also. So I'll get with y'all in a minute though. Never be afraid to dream. Be sure to get the merchandise and jump in the comments. Get with the team. Rap talk. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all. I can sing too. I can sing, I can dance, I can sing. I'm silly, dog. I'll get with y'all in a minute though. Rap talk.